Hello, I'm Hugh, lasagna. Who doesn't love it? The crispy bit on top is my favourite part in lasagna, and in this recipe we're making it go all the way around by wrapping it in spring roll wrappers and deep frying it. Wow, a giant lasagna spring roll is going to be really nice. Okay, so I'm starting by cooking the beef ragu. The way I do it is by browning beef in batches. Smash, bring it together in little clumps. If you overcrowd the pan, it tends just to sort of cook through and get boiled, and you want just really to get some colour. You're not cooking it through at this stage. Now we're going to add the sofrito, which is Italian for fry slowly. So we're just going to cook that really gently over a low heat. Spent half my life watching onions cook and the other half saying, I watch onions cook. Actually, I'll add the salt now because that'll make it go quicker. Sofrito is a really nice thing to add to any sort of meaty stew. It makes it extra delicious, gives it a really good depth of flavour. Just cook it down until it's really sweet and caramelised. Take away your sofrito. Next up comes the pancetta. This is a bit like bacon but more cured, so it cooks quite quickly. You want it to get really crispy and render off its fat. Into that fat we're going to add some tomato puree. This gives a beautiful red colouring to the oil and an amazing flavour. Yum! I feel like I'm just doing loads of stuff with this towel. All of the stuff back in, along with some tomatoes, some red wine, some beef stock. This is all going to just make it taste amazing and really aromatic and rich. To add to that richness, I'm adding a piece of Parmesan rind. So this gives an amazing umami tang to the finished dish. It kind of melts into the ragu. Just let it cook away really gently in a really low oven for about 4 hours or more if you've got longer. Gorgeous. So next up, we're making the bechamel. The milk I'm about to use, I've been infusing for about an hour or so, really gently cooking it with some onions, some bay leaves, some cloves. Just adds this amazing aromatic depth to the finished sauce, and it's really worth it if you've got the time. You need to add that milk in stages. If you do it all in one go, it just clumps up. Take your time with it. It's a good workout, isn't it? Get rid of those bingo wings. This might well be the best besh that anyone in the history of the world has ever made. My arm hurts. Keep adding it until it's incorporated and bubbles up, and you'll end up with this amazing, smooth, aromatic, creamy sauce, which will make a lovely aspect to your lasagna. Oh, welcome back. This guy is looking fabulous. He's just been sitting in the oven at a really low temperature. That helps the sauce like thicken up and just taste delicious. So at this stage, you're trying to build an enormous spring roll wrapper. So you have to stick 4 together to make a really big square, and then you add another 3 layers on top of that. We found if you do 2 layers, it just splits in the oil, everything escapes, there's lasagna everywhere, everyone's crying, dinner was ruined. I feel like I'm doing like a really quick painting. So the pasta I'm using has been completely cooked through. This isn't going in the oven at any point, so you want pretty much everything that goes in there to be like ready to go. I'm adding some mozzarella and a little bit of parmesan because, you know, cheese is life. There's that delicious ragu from earlier. Look at it, it's not too wet. If it was too wet, you'd have a really sloppy las at the end, and that's just rubbish. Well, I'm covered in bloody parmesan. So you brush the edges with a bit of water, and you bring that over and tuck in that corner. Bring over the sides and then fold it up to make a really tight roll. Oh my god, it's a spring roll. In you go, my sweet prince. So in he goes into his nice oily bath. Just want to baste it with some oil. That helps it give it this really gorgeous crispy outer shell, which is what we've all been desiring in our lasagna. That's definitely going to be the best bit for me. I love it in a normal lasagna when you get that really delicious crispy bit on top, but also a super cheesy, molten, like rich interior, which is obviously going to be phenomenal. Wow, look at that. It's a world first, the first giant spring roll lasagna. He's absolutely gorgeous. Putting a bit of parmesan on it because Italy, super crispy on the outside, and as you can see, an absolutely perfect lasagna on the inside. Absolutely gorgeous. Look at that cheese pull. There's a saying, just because you can doesn't mean you should, but in this case I think you definitely should. I mean, you get a lasagna spring roll. That's pretty world breaking. That's pretty stunning. Gorgeous. Look at those cheese balls.
It's got cheese balls in every section of it still. Look at that. Whoa. She's back before.